Hello, all my gay best friends. It is February 3rd, about a little after 10:30 p.m., and I have to get up in less than 5 hours so I can go to the airport and hop on a plane and go back home up to North Jersey so I can see a couple of my really close friends who I talk to regularly. So it's going to be a great trip and spend a whole day in New York City, do some fun things there. I will be seeing a Broadway show. I will be doing a tour of 30 Rockefeller Center at the NBC studios, which is very near and dear to my heart because for those of you who know what I do for a living, I'm actually rather close to 30 Rock. But that's neither here nor there. What I want to talk to you about actually is my fear of going up north, because I always have the expectation that going forward, planning is always so much more fun and exciting than the actual act of doing. I think a big problem I have is living in the moment, and I always tend to want to see the opportunity of improvement or the opportunity for improvement. That happened when I went to Miami. That happened when I went on my cruise. When I took my family to Mexico, I'm always worried about the other person or people involved having a good time. I'm really excited to see a Broadway show. I haven't seen one in several years. This is an actual show on Broadway. I'm going to see Mean Girls, and it took days, literally days. I mean, this trip was planned about a week and a half ago, so this is very kind of last minute for a lot of people. So a week and a half ago, about a week, I decided I was going to come up to New Jersey, and I booked the flight a week ago yesterday, I want to say. So it's only been in the works for about a week. But my friend and I have been going back and forth about what show you want to see. And there were a handful of shows for the day we were going to be in New York City. And we were going back and forth, and she's like, I don't care. Pick a show. I can go to a show all the time. I live right outside of New York City. I work in New York City. She's gone to many shows over the past couple of months, and she said, anything you want to see, we'll figure it out. And there's a show called Jagged Little Pill that opened a couple of months ago, and I love Alanis Morissette, and I love her music. But then I started reading into what the play was, or the musical was about, and it was about a family from Chicago, and it didn't have to do with Alanis Morissette's life at all. They were just using her music mostly to portray her feelings that her songs portray in a different family situation that had nothing to do with her and her life. So I was afraid I would get disappointed with that. So then we looked into Dear Evan Hansen, and I've heard a lot about it, and I heard it was really good and very emotional and very touching. But then I thought, I don't want to, knowing myself, and I like to think of myself as an empath, where I don't want to take that. I don't want to cry, I don't want to be forced to feel sad, not so happy, depressing feelings. And I had a feeling that this is what this musical would do to me. It would lay very heavy on my heart, and it would stay with me for a long time. And I didn't want that for my trip to, up north. I haven't been there in, gosh, last time I was in New York City was a little over a year ago. And I just didn't want that. And then every play that we looked at, and every musical on Broadway, off Broadway that we looked at, I was so disheartened by the idea that I could have found anything wrong with any of them. Is it not going to be worth the money? Is it not as exciting or as popular or as fun as everybody else said it would be. So, but we did decide on Mean Girls. I am excited to check it out because I do love Tina Fey's writing, and she has her hands in this. It's supposed to be just like the movie. I have seen the movie several years ago, and I enjoyed it. I remember enjoying it, so it'd be good to see it. I did see Clueless on Broadway twice, and with Laura Bell Bundy, who played Elle Woods, both times that I saw it, and I loved it. And the music was very catchy, and it was happy, and so I have a good feeling about seeing that. So I have nothing but positive thoughts going into this trip. I'm only going to be there less than 3 days. I'll fly up first thing tomorrow morning. My flight's at after 6 a.m. at Orlando International Airport. By the time you guys will be getting this and hearing it, I will have already been in New Jersey for probably a couple hours. So I'm hoping, God willing, that this is going to be a great experience. I'm bringing a heavier coat. I am bringing a cute scarf and some cute outfits. So hopefully that'll be fun because I don't get to wear them that often down here in Orlando. So it'll be a nice change of pace. It's not supposed to rain. I hope it's beautiful wherever you guys are. Where are you? What's the weather like over there? Because we are in the first week of February and it's kind of chilly in Orlando, but not cold. There's just a little chill in the air at night, which is nice. Definitely reminiscent of home. I will be taking my very first Lyft tomorrow morning. I'm a little scared about that because you never know how that's going to work. I've never taken an Uber before. I really don't feel comfortable on public transportation. I don't like giving up that much power, I guess, and that much control and having someone else in charge of making sure things get done properly. Control freak. Excuse me, I am still fighting this cold, but that's okay. Gonna make the best of it. My cold, my sinuses have not stopped me from working. It sure as hell ain't gonna stop me from having fun, so that's good. I'm hydrating myself right now with some orange vanilla seltzer by Polar. It's actually really good. There's nothing in it, no carbs, no sugars, all natural, which is nice. Got to keep hydrated if I'm going to get on a plane. And I have packed, and you should check out my Instagram to see my bag. I have a Kipling black backpack that I'm bringing. I'm bringing 3 days worth of clothes all in this little bag. And I don't know how I'm going to do it. Well, I'm doing it, but hopefully I'm not going to be sorry that I didn't bring more clothes and items. But I'll be with friends, and I'm not going to a third world country. So if I need something, I will be able to pick it up myself. So that's a positive thought about going. I'm just a little nervous. I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to sleep very well, and I'll wind up in a plane in a couple of hours snoring and drooling on the person sitting next to me. I did not pick my seat, so that's always a crapshoot. Which do you guys prefer? Who here prefers a window seat versus an aisle seat, or the emergency exit row? Or how much thought do you put in that? I'm flying a very inexpensive airplane, commercial. I am flying Spirit, # not sponsored, but it's like the flying bus, I think they call it, because it just keeps going back and forth to all these different destinations, and it's inexpensive. So I'm guessing that's another reason why they consider it a flying bus. But how much actual preparation and planning do you do when picking an airline? Do they have to have certain things? This is a 2.5 hour flight for me. At the most, I think it's 2 hours and 40 minutes. I'm bringing a book. I'm bringing one of Shane Dawson's very first books called I Hate My Selfie. Some light reading for the airplane, which will be nice. But again, it's a crapshoot where I'm going to be sitting. Am I going to be comfortable? Is the person next to me going to be polite? It'll be an interesting thing. And make sure you guys check out my Instagram at Dwayne Anthony 1977. It'll be in my description box. I plan on uploading a couple of videos of me in New York City, me in Jersey City, me in my first lift. Lord help us all. It's a good time for me to go away though for a couple of days because my family does not want me in this house this week because I kind of previously mentioned in other episodes that I am getting both of my bathrooms redone, and they started the work this morning while I was at work, and the crew was gone by the time I got home, but they left the smell of all the chemicals all throughout this house. And because we had to empty out both bathrooms, I have a messy house, and I hate that. It's the control freak in me. I get it. I understand. But it does not make a happy Dwayne. And when Dwayne is not happy, I don't think the people in my house are very happy. So let's just say that everybody's very grateful that I was able to take this 3-day vacation off to go to my hometown in New Jersey and then go to New York City for the day and just regroup, revamp, connect. And in doing that, it really didn't hit me until today that all these things are happening this week, that I was getting on a plane. And like this morning I went to work and I was talking to a really good coworker that I like to consider a friend. And she and I were talking, and it hit me all at once. Oh my God, in 24 hours, I'm going to be back in New Jersey for a couple days. Oh my God, in less than 48 hours, I'm going to be in a Broadway play, a musical. And my bathrooms are getting ripped out. And it was just so overwhelming that I was doing this in such a short amount of time that I didn't think about packing. I didn't think about printing out my boarding pass or my paperwork or the tickets to my tour that I'm taking in 30 Rockefeller Center over at the NBC studios in Manhattan. I didn't think about doing any of this stuff until this morning when it needed to get done. So I was overwhelmed with a lot of emotion. My family was texting me pictures of what our bathroom was looking like and them taping it off and taking down parts of my tub and refinishing my cast iron tub and just all these things. And I got giddy. I got reminiscent. I got a little bit of every emotion you can imagine at that time. So growing up, it went all the way as far back as being a child or being a teenager in that part of New Jersey. And they were like, oh, what are you going to do? And I said, I'm going to a 24-hour diner. That was on my to-do list. So by this time tomorrow night, I will be sitting at the Broadway Diner in Bayonne, New Jersey, with two of my friends, whom I haven't seen in over a year each. One might be even over 2 years now. And we're going to have disco fries. If you do not know what disco fries are, let me educate you, my friends. Disco fries are fries that you put brown gravy on. Usually, the type of brown gravy that you would put on mashed potatoes, but you put that on French fries. Then you put mozzarella cheese over it and you melt it. And it is so good. It's something that it's a staple in New Jersey, and they call them disco fries. So that's going to be fun. Or something to look forward to, trying them again.